If you just passed your CPC exam or you are thinking about taking it and you're wondering what is this deal between the CPC and a CPC-A, you're in luck because I'm going to break that down in today's video. We're going to talk about what is the CPC-A, what that means, how it is different from the full CPC credential, and most importantly, how to remove that apprenticeship status faster. But if you're looking for a program that will tell you how to do exactly that, I will also share why I recommend today's sponsor, Preppy, as a great place to start. So let's break it down. CPC-A stands for Certified Professional Coder Apprentice. So when we talk about professional in the certified professional coder credential, the professional is the type of coding. There are four main types of coding: inpatient, outpatient, risk adjustment, and professional or pro fee, it's often referred to as. So the professional coder is the type of coding that this certification tests you on. You get the title CPC-A after you pass the CPC exam, but you don't yet have the experience requirements. To move from a CPC-A to a full CPC, the AEPC requires either 2 years of on-the-job coding experience or the equivalent. Now, if you submit that information prior to taking your exam, you can go straight to having the full CPC without ever having to worry about the CPC-A. But most people get that CPC-A and then they have to work towards having their apprenticeship status removed. Now, there are a few ways to expedite this. There are actually two things that you can do that will each take a year off of that experience requirement. One thing that will take a year off is going through a program like Preppy that qualifies you for 80 contact hours of medical coding education. The other thing you can do is complete a program called Practicode. What Practicode is, and there's a lot of controversy about Practicode because it is very difficult and people do struggle with it. And some of that is just the learning curve, and some of that is the platform or the lack of support that they feel. But Practicode is basically just mock coding cases that you have to go through and code them. And they are not multiple choice. They do not tell you how many codes or which ones you need. You just have to code all of these different cases at a 70% accuracy. And once you do that, it will remove a year off your apprentice status. So effectively, there's kind of like four combinations of ways that you can remove that apprenticeship status. First would be the old school way of just getting the 2 years experience. Second would be 1 year of experience and the 80 contact hours. The third would be you have 1 year of experience and Practicode. And then the fourth would be just the Practicode and the 80 contact hours. Now, regardless of what you do, you always have to have the appropriate paperwork. So, with the 2 years experience, even that has paperwork that needs to be submitted from your employer. And there is a portal that you can have. There's nice templates that the AEPC provides that they can just easily put together the information verifying that you have that experience in coding, not necessarily that your job title has to be medical coder, but that you have experience working with the code sets on a regular basis. So once you get that, you can put that in the portal and they can review it and approve it for that experience. And with that 80 contact hours, you also have to have some sort of proof, either a certificate or a paperwork or a transcript, but it has to have the amount of hours of education on it. Now, once you get all your paperwork together, you submit it to the AAPC and they approve it. Boom, you are upgraded to the full CPC and you are issued a shiny new certificate that does not say apprentice on it. Now, there are some employers that prefer hiring coders without the A status because it shows them that you have that hands-on experience. And removing the apprentice designation can wind up improving your job prospects. It can boost your confidence because you're not considered an apprentice anymore. And it can help you compete with some more experienced candidates. But don't panic. You don't have to wait 2 years if you don't want to wait those 2 years to get that apprenticeship status removed. And that's because you can easily fulfill some of those requirements by getting those 80 contact hours, for example, through a program like Preppy. 80 contact hours is just one of the reasons that I recommend them so often. So obviously the 80 contact hours, it will fulfill that 1 year of requirement of the 2 years. It's also fully online. It's self-paced, so you can train around your schedule. And it helps prepare you specifically for things like the CPC exam, as well as some other certifications for billing if you just want to get into the billing aspects of it. They also have externship opportunities so you can get that real world experience. And just kind of dialing it back to our discussion about Practicode, while the Practicode is helpful in removing your apprenticeship status, employers don't really view it as real world hands on experience like they would an externship. And one of the things I really like about Preppy is it is a very affordable option. Now, if you want someone to hold your hand a little bit more, an instructor, there are other opportunities out there that will cost you more. But if you're like, I just want the on demand, like send everything to me electronically, and all of that, that's when I think Preppy is really going to shine. And also, they have payment plans. So if you're someone who just wants to pay on installments, you can do that. But if you pay in full, you can potentially get some other perks like a laptop. So, if you're looking to prepare for a career in medical billing and coding, and you're looking at getting that CPC credential, and you want to help remove that apprenticeship status a little bit faster without having to wait those full 2 years, Preppy might just be your way to go. You can find out more with the link in the description to my free career masterclass at medicalcodingmasterclass.com. Now, a few final tips when you're working towards becoming a CPC and trying to navigate that world of apprenticeship status. Make sure that your coding education is well documented because the AAPC will ask for proof, whether you're going through Preppy, which already knows about this and they already have the paperwork and they're going to get it to you. There are other programs that you might have to jump through hoops because they're not as familiar or it's going to be harder to get a transcript. If you go through the AAPC directly, obviously that's going to be a good option as well. Or if you go through one of their approved instructors, they're familiar with that process. And if you're working already somewhere in healthcare where you are working with medical codes regularly, again, your title doesn't have to be a medical coder, but maybe if you're doing prior authorizations or you're doing some sort of billing or something that utilizes codes on a regular basis, that counts as experience working with codes and can potentially be submitted to the AAPC and approved as proof to help get that experience requirement. And of course, always, always, always double check the AAPC website for the latest information on apprentice removal and requirements and forms. They do every now and then say, like, oh, we think we might just get rid of the apprentice status. And actually, this year was the first year that I didn't hear anything about potentially doing that. So I'm not feeling super, super confident that that's going to happen anytime soon, but I will link below directly the AEPC's page about having your apprenticeship status removed so you can review those documents for yourself as well. And just remember that apprenticeship status really doesn't make you less of a coder. It's just part of the process. I've gone through it and I actually had to wait for the full 2 years of experience before I had to get mine removed because we didn't have the Practicode and my training didn't have 80 contact hours, but it is absolutely something that you can do in an expedited fashion if you have the right training and you have the knowledge and strategy. So now you know exactly what the CPC-A means and how to become a full CPC and how a program like Preppy can fast track your career. If you want to learn more, check out the link in the description. And if this video helped clear things up for you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe, and drop a comment if you have questions because I love hearing from you guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, just keep on coding on.